Let's shift gears and talk about an aspect to search that all of us have heard about for a long time, which is you've got to network, you've got to connect with people, strong ties, weak ties. My question for you, Mark, is relative to the executive level search. What are some of the common mistakes that you've seen senior level people make when tapping into their network?
Yeah. So one of the big, I guess, the Achilles heel I hear from most executives I work with, they're almost, I don't know, apologetic when they talk about networking. Most say, I've really not kept in touch with people, that might be able to be helpful with me. And I think again begins with what is it you're looking for from your networking, and then versus just flailing and reaching out. And the key is to look at networking as not transactional, but one based on, reciprocity and value. Who is it that I come across that can help me see opportunities in the marketplace? Not to be confused with, hey, Bill, Sally, we haven't talked in a while. Can you help me find a job? Don't do that, though many do. That puts pressure on and will get you usually nowhere. And people have enough things to keep them busy during the day. They don't need one more task of helping you find something. However, people value helping others and when they are valued. So one of the networking pieces to begin with is to think through really who have you worked with that might have insight to what's happening in the world, the market, where there might be business opportunities. And do your homework. Start thinking through, and I say 360 degrees. Who are my peers I work with? Who are the people that used to work for me or work for me? Who did I work for? Think through who are my key customers? Who are my key suppliers? And start listing this and seeing where are they today, where they've been before. LinkedIn is a great way to do the research like that. That's part of the holy grail as one goes to networking, is to figuring out, really those that might be of help to you. Another angle is also in networking, thinking about who are my target businesses or sectors. So to be prepared for networking discussion, not only do you want to make sure you're going to be talking to the right people, you want to have in hand the types of example of industries, organizations that might fit your North Star of those that you'd like to work with. And that's key. And then third, be prepared to talk about and tap the network's brains on who are the recruiters they might have worked with. It's interesting in the industry when you go to market, there's a few select executive recruiters who I use the word Rolodex. I think many, probably most on the call know what that is, but they have their finger on the pulse of the industry. So being prepared to ask about that. So in approaching networking, it's about reaching out and giving respect to some to people in your network and say, I've really we worked together, we collaborated together in the past, and I've always trusted your view of what's happening there, your business sense, your market sense, and I'm at the point now where I really like to tap into that, and in turn, I've been out there as well and have some new ideas, new thoughts I'd like to share with you. So another element I would add is reciprocity.
Hmm.
This is not about you being the asker. It's the one where there's balance that, yeah, you in turn are looking to seek something from this discussion that you're setting up, but in turn, you're ready to give something back. And that gives you confidence. And then in those discussions, be it that it may be initially through an email, possibly a phone call, if possible, in person, be prepared and be clear. Here's the types of opportunities that I'm looking for in the marketplace. Here's where I've been, here's what I bring, and be, again, clear on the value. And then, helping them see, these types of opportunities you're looking for in the marketplace. And again, it's not about, do you know of any opportunity or jobs that are open? It's more of that. And then in turn, being ready to share as I described. And I think when one enters networking that way, it's seen more it builds one's confidence versus coming into it as being one who's really asking or seeking something to be given to them.
Right. And that is key. And if you've been paying attention, as I know you have, what Mark just handed you is a strategic framework for networking effectively at your level.